the path of subtraction and the winter solstice season. So the winter solstice time is the time when we're walking this path, the path of subtraction. It's the time for traveling in the dark. It is the time for interning. And the natural symbols of the season, the ones that lead up to the winter solstice, include things like the dramatic, the exuberant colors of dying leaves, the crisp, even cutting chill in the air, and the lengthening of the night, the natural interning in times of darkness. It's when nature slows down and draws within. And so for us, for the psyche, there's this beckoning to follow suit, to let go of habitual activities, which may be countercultural, to draw within, which may be countercultural, as we have lost our cultural connection to the rhythm of this season. We're called during the winter solstice season to examine our lives in the cold air of this time. The branches, the bare branches of the trees reflect, and they symbolize this stripping away process, this subtraction process that begins at the autumn equinox. And then as we move into the Scorpio and the Sagittarian seasons, the Sagittarian flavors, the Scorpionic flavors of this time, there's a stripping away and the hidden architecture of the trees, but for us, the hidden architecture of the soul of our memory tracks is revealed. There's nowhere to hide. Ironically, as the darkness deepens, there's a revealing of that which was hidden. It's a powerful revelation to see for us during this season the ways in which we have been running on autopilot, where we have been driven by our conditioning, and where we maybe have been serving values and pursuing goals that in the chill, still air we realize they have fulfilled their function. When I attune to this, I'm reminded of the poet Rilke and his experience of standing before an archaic marble statue of Apollo and feeling in his soul totally exposed, and hearing the words, a demand even, and an invitation certainly, that the statue was reflecting or evoking from his soul. And in the poem, in the last lines, he writes, "For here there is no place that does not see you. For here there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life. You must change your life." This is the seeing, which is unsparing and truthful, and it is a gift of the winter solstice season. Just as the poet saw and heard, so we have this chance to so clearly see, just as when we step out into the night sky, the night air, the winter sky, no clouds, no obstructions, there's a chilling and invigorating realization. I must change my life. Not because the culture is demanding it, not because there's some cultural injunction, not even a change that I should make, but a deeper recognition of a soulful necessity, to realign my life, my body, speech, and mind with the deeper integrity of the soul, the deeper trajectory of the soul. So there are habits of body, speech, and mind that it is time to let go of. In your journal, reflect on that. What habits of body, speech, and mind is it time to let go of? Reflect on how these habits, how these patterns have indeed served you. And go deeper into the stillness and reflect on the essential intelligence and energy that has been present in those habits, the essential intelligence and energy that needs to be honored, integrated, and into a new form so that your life can move forward with greater alignment. So these habits of body, speech, and mind have fulfilled their purpose. And like the leaves, they have completed their function. And like the leaves, letting go is not rejection. Truly, letting go is honoring of a purpose fulfilled. Letting go is not repression. Letting go is liberation. For every pattern in the psyche, every habit of body, speech, and mind has been developed for a purpose, and most often unconsciously developed into a pattern that was focused on one of three basic needs that are hardwired into our human neurology. One, a need for safety and security. Two, a need for belonging and approval. Three, a need for power and control. Now, we didn't create these needs, and our parents and our culture didn't cause these needs. These needs have been hardwired into the system over millions of years, so they have a profound and evolutionary potency. We're not going to get rid of them during the season, but we are being invited to bring them up into awareness, into loving awareness, and to see the ways in which our life has unconsciously, habitually, reactively been overcommitted, even addicted to one or more of these needs. Seeking absolute safety and security, seeking unwavering belonging and approval at every moment, seeking complete power and control so nothing can go wrong. We want to see it with loving awareness and remember that these are like addictions that have become so compellingly and effortlessly and unconsciously and habitually wired into our system. They are like addictions. And the Gita teaches us in the second chapter, the 62nd verse, how to work with addictions. The Gita says, dwelling on objects externally or internally, the mind becomes attached eternally in quotes. Attached. The mind becomes addicted by degree, and thwart that addiction, the mind becomes angry. When we push against it, push against a pattern to try to eliminate it from the psyche, the wholeness of the psyche just pushes back. It's not a skillful way of transforming. It doesn't transform anything. In fact, to have one part of the mind get angry at another part of the mind. Let's go deeper. Let's honor the intelligence of our neurology. Let's honor the intelligence of the soul and the ways in which these habits of body, speech, and mind, the ways they've worked. They've insulated, they've protected, they've preserved us. They've even supported our flourishing in many ways. And so we want to, and it's important to, honor these patterns, even as we outgrow the usefulness of the ways that they've been operating. Again, it's like the leaves on the trees that complete a life cycle. I don't think we imagine the trees kind of looking at the leaves angrily. And I've had enough of you, leaves. Get out of here. Leave, leaves. I don't think it's like that. I don't believe you think it's like that. Rather, we observe there's a beauty in the graceful and natural ending of a cycle. There's an elegant release and a decomposition of the form of the leaves into compost that nourishes new growth. So there's this honoring, and we don't have to know in detail the ways that these patterns have served us. In fact, we can't know in the infinite ways that they actually already have served us. We can know that they've brought you, they brought me, they've brought us to this moment, and they have therefore served their own noble and our own noble purpose, even if their approach is now seen to be quite limited. We can bow and recognize safety and security, noble. Belonging and approval, beautiful. Power and control, sacred. These needs have their place in the mandala of our lives. These energies have their place in the microcosm of our being. But how they are functioning, how they are operating, is time to be upgraded. It's time to upgrade the operating system, which is a technical way of saying it's time for death and rebirth. It's time for letting go. So let us begin with an inner bow, a bow and a felt sense of appreciation for the service that all these patterns have given for all of these years. And say thank you. Thank you, habits of reactivity. Thank you for your vigilance. Thank you for your insistence. Thank you for your endurance and for your commitment. I recognize that your purposes, your intentions are noble, and that you have sought to keep me safe. I bow. You have sought to connect me with others. I honor that. You have sought to give me strength. I bow. I bow to all of these intentions, even as I let you go. I bow to all of these intentions, even as I let you go. I let go of the ways which you have sought to meet these noble needs. I release you into the radiance. I release you into the radiance from which you have come. And I know that the radiance will reform you and I into a new configuration, a new astral configuration that will bring greater peace, love, creativity, and wisdom. I thank you, and I bid you adieu.